Hey diary listeners, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. As promised, we're going to talk about some wedding planning tips for our single persons anticipating marriage or engaged persons who are waiting to just enjoy and plan their day. If you are new here, welcome. I am Aari and this is my diary. So you've gotten engaged, you are happy, you are over the moon, and now it's time for wedding planning, right? And you're like, what do I do? Where do I go? What is the next step? Do I have everything sorted out? What to do? You know, and you've come to the right place. We're going to discuss some wedding planning tips, and I know it will be a guide for you on this journey. Congratulations, and let's get to it. So, my first tip is super important, and I don't think it's encouraged enough. I highly recommend it, and this is marriage counseling, right? Marriage counseling would allow you to get the coaching, the guidance, the conflict resolution strategies, the changing of speech from I and he and she, me to we, right? And in order to have a thriving marriage that you would want, what I hope you would want, everybody wants a thriving marriage, right? If you want a thriving marriage, remember the wedding day is just simply a day. It's a celebration, yes. It's a joyous occasion, yes. But at the end of the day, you want a thriving marriage. And marriage counseling would help aid in that. You can have the option of asking your pastor or a pastor to lead those sessions for you, or you can either go to a couple that is biblically sound, that has God at the center of their marriage, is together for a good while, a few years, and their marriage is thriving, right? So I highly recommend marriage counseling. It's not too late, it's not too early. Get marriage counseling, because there's a norm that you only should get counseling either 3 weeks before your wedding day, or a month before your wedding day, 6 weeks before your wedding day, and that is not sufficient, right? You want to be able to get enough time in so that you can build yourself, you can prepare yourself for marriage. After marriage counseling, you're going to want to set up an account for all things wedding, right? This way you can organize your life in terms of, life happenings, work, school, that kind of thing. Money is coming out of this account, that account. You have a wedding account where you and your spouse or your future spouse would put monies in. That way you can see where monies are going to. You can see, well, okay, this account has $30,000. We know that the venue costs 10. We can push 10 out. We're able to see, okay, 10 was pushed out from this account, and it doesn't affect our life happenings account, like our check-ins account or personal savings account, right? After setting up your account, what you want to do is set up an email. Having an email address set aside for all things wedding would allow you to keep everything organized. All communications relating to all things wedding, it's in one place, right? After setting up an email, what you want to do, this is like the second most important thing, because everything from here flows with this one thing. You want to decide a theme, right? Your wedding theme. And this theme could be whimsical, regal, modern, bohemian, garden, tropical, elegant. There are a number of different themes, and what you want to do is decide a theme, right? Because after deciding your theme, you're able to say, well, okay, if your wedding is with a touch of elegance, you say, okay, I want to get married in a castle. Or if it's rustic, okay, I think I want to get married in a barn. If it's garden, I want to get married in someone's backyard. If it's tropical, ooh, the beach, right? So Choosing a theme is super important, right? Because everything flows from here on out. After choosing a theme, what you want to do is choose your colors, right? You want to decide if it's bold, if it's loud, if it's pastel, if it's just simple gold and white, if it's black and white. That is important as well. Now you have your theme, you have your colors. What you want to do is create a Pinterest board, right? And you're going to put everything that you think you would want for your wedding day on that board, how you would imagine your wedding day to look like, right? This is arbors, drapery, cutlery, napkin, place holders, plate settings, centerpieces, your wedding dress, your groom's tux, bridesmaids dresses, groomsmen's suits, favors for guests, florals, everything. You want to be able to see everything visually as to how you would want it. After you've decided your theme, you have your colors, you have your Pinterest board, so you have a visual representation of what you think your wedding day is going to look like, what it should look like. You are now going to estimate a guest count, right? Estimate roughly how much people you think you want to have at your wedding day. If it's 200, if it's 40, if it's 150, have that number, right? Because the next stage, you're going to need it. At this stage, I personally like to call it the exploration stage. This is just basically your research stage, right? This is where you would go out, you'll get quotes based on what venue you choose for your theme. So you want to explore different venues, you want to explore different bridal stores, tailor shops for tux, rental places for napkins, plate settings, drapery, tablecloths, linen, floral shops, any other types of like small decor that you would want there, furniture. Some people adding furniture to their wedding day, like a lounge area. If you want additional furniture, you get quotes for that. You'll be able to get a better idea as to how things cost. Weddings are costly. You will see that it is sometimes double and quadruple the normal price. Guest count, and you have a budget estimation, a minimum and maximum of what you want to spend. So now you refine your guest list based on that, right? Now you're able to work things around. You go in with more intention at this point. After you decided your budget, decide a wedding date, like a tentative date that you can work with. Really and truly, what you want that wedding date for is to get a venue. You go to your venues, the ones that you would have seen in the exploration stage, and you decide the venue that most fits with your budget based on your theme, right? When you do a site visit for your venue, make sure to ask for any discounted days that they might have. Some wedding venues, some days are cheaper than some, right? So some establishments are like that. You can find out from the venue if they have discounted days. I believe on the weekends it's much more expensive than weekdays. Then you book your venue. Booking your venue is super important because now you're able to send out your save the dates or your invitations because you have a venue. You cannot have a wedding day or you cannot send out your invitations unless you have a venue. Right. So save the dates can be sent out at least 8 months to a year before your wedding date. This will give family members a lot of time to organize, friends to organize their schedule, who needs to fly in, who needs to arrange transportation, all that good stuff. If your family is local, if all your friends and families are local, then you can do it 3 months in advance. It's up to you, right? But you want to be as organized as you possibly can. After sending out the save the dates or invitations, you're going to go back to your vendors. So all the heavy lifting is done. You're dealing with your vendors now. So when you're going to your photographer, your videographer. I highly suggest a videographer. Highly suggest a videographer. You want to be able to finalize that and pay a deposit. Pay your deposit and sign your contracts. Make sure you are given a contract and sign your contracts. Contracts are very important, right? When you're narrowing down on your vendors and what you want and prices, deposits, contracts, all that good stuff, make sure to remember your fittings. Make sure to do your site visits. Make sure to do your tastings. Make sure to get all of your fittings. It is super important. After you've done all of that, because now you have your venue, you have your wedding date, you have finalized everything with your vendors, it's time to just relax and enjoy your wedding day. For those married couples, if I left anything out, please let me know in the comments. Diary listeners, please check the comments for additional information as well, just in case I would have missed anything out. So the things I highly recommend: marriage counseling, your theme, right? A videographer, and a day of coordinator. It is super important on your wedding day. You don't want to think about all the things that you need to get done on that day. That day is just for you and your spouse and celebrating with your loved ones and friends, right? So you want to ensure to have a day of coordinator. If you choose to not do this DIY, do it yourself, you can have a wedding planner that takes care of all of this for you, right? But it is super important to have a day of coordinator. You don't want to stress yourself out on that day, making sure that the itinerary goes according to plan or anything like that, right? Also, generate a website. A website would really help. We had our website on thenot.com, and organizing everything on the Not was super helpful, right? So getting a website would help a great deal. I hope this was super insightful for you, and I hope that you enjoy it, that you have fun, that you celebrate with everyone that is there, that you take lots of pictures, and just enjoy the day, because it goes by so quickly. It goes by so fast, so make sure to soak it up, to feel every bit of emotion, butterflies, excitement, everything, and just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe so that you can be notified on new content. Until next time, talk to you soon. Bye.